Hello and welcome to Castle Coliseum in Blacksburg, Virginia for an ACC Network presentation of women's college basketball. The Tennessee Lady Vols travel from Knoxville to take on the Virginia Tech Hokies. Hello everybody, Bailey Engel, Mac McCarthy, glad to have you with us here on ACC Network Extra. Well, Mac, Tennessee in their last game, it gets knocked off by Penn State and now come to Virginia Tech trying to beat an undefeated team. What do they need to do to pick up a tough road win?
Well, this is a Tennessee team with high expectations, just like always, Bailey. And this is a talented team. They've had trouble attacking the zone a little bit, trouble scoring last year due to shooting and turnovers. They think they can clean up both of those. This is a big game for them here tonight. Got off to a 3-0 start, disappointing loss to Penn State, but they'll be ready to revenge that loss to Virginia Tech from last year.
And now we talk about Virginia Tech beating Tennessee last year. Now they have a new team, a new head coach in Kenny Brooks, undefeated for the first time since 2013-2014. What's different about these Hokies than in years past?
Well, you're going to see a lot of differences, mainly the tempo of the game. They're going to try to play fast. On both ends, they want to attack. They're a smaller, quicker team than they were a year ago, and they need to shoot the ball well to have a chance here tonight.
Well, we got Virginia Tech and Tennessee coming up. Tennessee just showed up, and Nolan Nichols is standing by with Holly Warlick, the head coach of the Tennessee Lady Vols. Nolan?
Thanks, Bailey. Coach, the last time you were coaching at Castle Coliseum, you were on the Virginia Tech bench. How does it feel to be back today, but on the other side?
I love this campus. I love this university. Had a great time here. Got my master's here. Had great teams. I just got into coaching. I was a graduate assistant, but the only assistant coach. So I jumped into it just head on, and I have great fond memories here.
Your team's coming off a tough loss versus Penn State. What are you looking to improve on the most today against an undefeated Tech team?
Hey, just energy. We just went out with lackadaisical, just effort. Just effort, playing hard. That can't be that difficult. You got to love this game. You got to play hard. They know what they should and shouldn't do. I mean, they should be pretty well coached in what we want. But you got to execute the game plan, and we didn't execute our game plan, and I'll take responsibility for that. And it's just a matter of me putting their head to the grind and make sure they get it done.
Good luck today, Coach. Back to you, Bailey.
All right, thank you, Nolan. First time I've ever seen you actually wear a tie, but here we go, Virginia Tech, Tennessee. And when you look at Tennessee, Mac, you can't ignore their two-star players, Diamond DeShields and Mercedes Russell.
Yeah, and this is not only two of the best players you're going to see today. These are two of the best players in the country. They are really talented. Diamond DeShields, obviously great lineage there with her dad, Delano DeShields. Brother's a major leaguer. Mom was a great athlete at Tennessee. Mercedes Russell, 6'6", and you think immediately, big, slow, plodding center. No. This girl has point guard skills. She can really play, can do a little bit of everything. And DeShields, as explosive as anybody in the country, if she gets going, it'll be a hard thing to stop.
Look at Virginia Tech, though, 5-0. You got to look at some of their stars so far this year, really led by the point guard, Jeanette Higgs. She's got 17 points per game, as well as a big presence in the front court, the front court with Sidney Cook.
Well, Jeanette Hicks is not only leading the team in scoring and assists and steals, but she creates so much of the offense with her defense, getting out in transition, with her speed and pushing the ball down the floor. Not only does she take it to the rim and get fouled or score the basket, sometimes both, but she opens up the spots for other people to knock down shots. Sidney Cook takes up where she left off, improves a little bit in scoring, improves a little bit in rebounding, and much more consistent. Look for her to be a big part of whatever success the Hokies have today.
Another player we didn't really mention right there, Sammy Hill, a player who has really struggled in her past 3 years here, has really started to come into her own in this undefeated start.
Yeah, and Sammy's always been a valuable player. Great hustle, real energy, gives the team an emotional spark, but now she's producing on the offensive end too. She's shooting with confidence, knocking those shots down, and just making all the hustle plays that she always did, in addition to contributing to the offense.
See right there, Mercedes Russell and the Tennessee Lady Vols about ready to come onto the court. Holly Warlick in her 5th season as the head coach of Tennessee women's basketball, of course, replacing a legend in Pat Summitt, and then Kenny Brooks, the head coach for Virginia Tech. in his first year after 14 seasons at JMU. Hokies and Lady Vols just about ready to tip off. Reagan McGarity and Mercedes Russell in the middle. And the tip-off will go to Tennessee. Bailey Engel, Mac McCarthy here. Glad to have you with us. An easy opening basket for Jamie Nard, the junior from Portland, Oregon.
And Jordan Reynolds got that pass down the floor. Really solid point guard out of Oregon. A lot of players from Oregon on this Tennessee team.
Now Hicks dribbles right into the lane. The layup is good.
Yeah. We're going to see a lot of that, and that was one of the main things that Holly Warlick wanted to get done, was make sure they stopped penetration, whether it's coming full court like you see now or in the half court like you saw in the Hokies' first possession.
Jeanette Hicks, just a sophomore out of Norfolk, Virginia. In a little bit of trouble now, lobs it right back up to Sammy Hill.
The Hokies have to stay spaced.
Now
They got to spread the bigger volunteers out.
McGarity gets one, and the Hokies have the lead.
You know, one thing also to look for, Bailey, is neither one of these teams can afford to get in foul trouble. Neither one goes more than about 8 deep, but really would be a problem for either team.
Another ugly shot for Mercedes Russell. Hokies get the rebound. Sidney Cook for three. No good. Rebound goes to the Hokies. Virginia Tech takes a lot of threes in their past 2 wins against Charleston and UCF. Both times hit 10 from beyond the arc.
And that'll help spread that defense.
Good layup for Reagan McGarity, just powering through Mercedes Russell.
Yeah, when you have to cheat out to the shooters, that opens it up for McGarity inside and sometimes Sidney Cook inside.
Here's Diamond DeShields.
Transfer from North Carolina, an explosive player. We've talked about her family, but she can really play basketball.
Another turnover, Hokies have it.
Coming off of a bad game at Penn State, they were really hoping that she gets going back the way she's capable of doing it here today. Can't pick up your dribble.
Ball is loose. Jeanette Hicks corrals it back. 15 on the shot clock. Dribbling right in, stripped away, still has her ball. And now a turnover, a tie-up, and it's going to stay with the Hokies. Talk about that Penn State loss. The Nittany Lions beating Tennessee 70-56 and outscoring the Lady Vols 26-16 in the final 10 minutes. Which was really a close game for most of it.
And a big part of that was the fact that Penn State played zone, and that's really bothered Tennessee so far. And I'm sure we'll see the Hokies in a zone at some point today.
Missed three for Sammy Hill, loose ball, and picked up by Alexa Middleton.
One stat that you'll want to follow is rebounding to basketball. Tennessee has what appears to be a size advantage, but the Hokies have to battle on the backboard.
Ugly transition right there. Tennessee has it right back.
Middleton in the starting lineup for the second time this year, going with a little bit smaller lineup. She's a little better handler, a little better shooter. Takes away a little bit of their size advantage, but you can still see that they're plenty big out there.
Foul is called on Virginia Tech. It's on Vanessa Panousis, the senior guard out of Sydney, Australia. Now Reagan McGarity goes to the bench.
Kayla Kinder in for her. Mimi Jackson in for Jordan Reynolds for Tennessee.
Three-pointer to Shields, no good. Kayla Kinder got a hand on it. It goes out of bounds, and the Hokies will have it.
Both teams like to play man-to-man. Tennessee switches a lot more than the Hokies do. And again, the spacing on this end, watch the Hokies, see if they can keep all 5 people outside the arc and open up some opportunities.
Jeanette Hicks finds the loose ball, and a foul called on Tennessee. We just see so much aggression out of that sophomore.
She's amazing. She came in as a freshman doing that, but she's really improved. She's more confident in her shooting now, too. When she shoots the ball in rhythm and doesn't think about it, she's actually got a very nice three-point shot.
Hicks will inbound. Now Vanessa Panousis, who is the all-time leader in school history at Virginia Tech in three-pointers. Her layup.
Wow, not her specialty. And you and I have talked before the game. She really needs to get going with the outside shot, but that will open that up if she can put it on the floor and get to the hole like she did that time. Very nice play.
Already a 6-point lead for Virginia Tech. Diamond DeShields pulls up from the free throw line and gets it. Already seen Jeanette Hicks cut through the perimeter so many times already in this young game. Sidney Cook down the baseline. Great play.
And the aggressiveness cost right there, and then there was no help side.
Now Alexa Middleton getting the start, as we talked about, the junior from Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
She can play both guard positions, playing a point right now with Jordan Reynolds out.
Mimi Jackson shot no good. Rebound Sammy Hill.
And the Hokies are keeping the Volunteers, Lady Volunteers, off the offensive glass right now.
Three-pointer from Vanessa Panousis, no good, and now Tennessee has numbers. Diamond DeShields pulls up, nothing but net.
That's pretty impressive. Just drive at the length of the floor, stop on a dime, jump up and stroke the jumper. Now Tennessee, the first one to show a little zone, little 3-2 zone.
Gonna have to see if Jeanette Hicks and the Hokies can pierce through that.
Yeah, they'll try to stop that penetration with the zone. They haven't been able to do it in the man-to-man.
Baseline three, no good. Rebound Mercedes Russell. Errant pass right there, trying to tackle or target Jamie Nard. That's going to bring us to our first media timeout. 10-6 Hokies, first quarter. You're on the ACC Network Extra. Shooting a lot of threes already. 5.
Live by the sword, die by the sword.
Now talk about the series history. How much longer we got? Oh, these things are like 2 minutes. Okay, yeah, I forgot.
My favorite professional wrestler is Hulk Hogan.
Not a good choice.
And those are the 5 things you want to know about.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mac.
Thank you.
Fifteen seconds. Welcome back to Castle Coliseum. 10-6 Hokies in the 9th all-time meeting between Virginia Tech and Tennessee. Last year, the only time Virginia Tech ever won against the Lady Vols with a shocking 14-point victory in Knoxville.
Yeah, Tennessee, we've talked about them. Never missed an NCAA tournament. Last year had one of their worst seasons and went to the Elite Eight.
It's amazing.
It is amazing. Holly Warlick's been there 4 years. She has the 7th best record of all of Division I in the history of Division I women's basketball through 7 years. It's amazing. And she's in there with like Sonia Hogg and Leon Barmore from Louisiana Tech and Jody Conrad from Texas and Andy Landers from Georgia. She's in there with legends.
Could that be intimidating for Virginia Tech to play against such a storied program?
Oh, I think so, but it also helps that they had success there last year. That's all these kids remember. We beat them. That's what's in their mind.
DeAndre DeRosa now in for the first time today, gets a basket. Transfer junior out of Pawtucket, Rhode Island. Three-pointer for DeShields, no good.
So far, the quickness for the Hokies is paying big dividends, and they have not given up an offensive board yet, and that's the reason they're ahead, 12-6.
Here's Vanessa Panousis pulling up for three, good. Her first three-pointer made today. Had 21 points in the victory against Tennessee last year and already off to a good start.
If she gets going, that adds a real dimension to this Hokie offense.
Middleton for two.
There's that offensive rebound. You don't want to give them extra chances.
20 on the shot clock. Back out to Nard. Russell. No good. Gets another offensive board. Travel call. Jamie Nard. So a costly turnover right there for Tennessee despite two offensive rebounds.
Tennessee going to try to pick up the pressure a little bit, extend this time at three-quarter court. Give the Hokies a little bit different look.
Panousis now running the point with Jeanette Hicks on the bench.
Back into the 3-2 zone.
Not a great pass out of bounds. Turnover Hokies.
Yeah, that was another concern of Kenny Brooks. You know, that rebounding is an obvious one, staying out of foul trouble, but taking care of the basketball. Don't have empty possessions.
Right side to Nard. 15-6 Virginia Tech, and now cuts that lead down to 7.
The Shields can really play one-on-one.
DeRosa bounce pass into Sidney Cook. Fade away, air ball. Brought down by Jamie Nard. Tennessee wasting no time on this possession and draws a foul.
Nard coming off a double-double against Penn State. The inside players for them, Russell and Nard, who played really well at State College, even in the loss.
Jeanette Hicks comes right back in. Vanessa Panousis will jog to the bench.
With the short bench, Kenny Brooks, one of the things he's done best with this team is choose key moments to rest people so that he can keep a fresh squad on the floor. It's a real challenge when you don't go more than 8 deep on that bench.
Now foul called on Virginia Tech. Going to be on Reagan McGarity.
Another girl finally healthy. Had to redshirt due to an injury, then played limited minutes due to an injury last year. Finally healthy, and you can see what kind of player she can be.
Lob into Russell. Turnaround. Got it.
Yeah, that's not much answer for 6'6" Mercedes Russell.
One of the 3 tallest players in the program's history in Knoxville. There's Kendall Brooks now with it, the daughter of Kenny Brooks. Mercedes Russell gets her first block.
Kendall Brooks, just a freshman, at Spotswood High School right outside of Harrisonburg. Can really shoot the basketball and obviously knows how to play.
Hicks will inbound. Stolen away by Jamie Nard. Been calling on her name a lot already, Mac.
Yeah, very active, very long, athletic, can play inside and out.
Nard for 3. No good. Rosa cutting through the lane, pulls up off the front of the rim. Now Tennessee has the ball. Both teams really haven't been able to work except for that one jumper from Diamond to Shields. It seems like they're struggling in that fast transition.
Yeah, and I think it's because both teams are playing pretty well in defense. Tennessee with their size, the Hokies with their quickness, going about it in different ways, but both of them being pretty solid on the defensive end.
And Shields thinks about it. 10 on the shot clock. Now into Russell. Feeds it to Nard. What a swat by Sidney Cook.
Just 5 left on the shot clock right here. Big play by Sidney Cook. Hokies need to take care of business these last 5 seconds of this clock, though.
Look at it again. It was a great feed right to Nard, but all ball. And the senior from Forest City, North Carolina, gets her first block of the day. Lob out to DeShields. Has to shoot it. No good. And the rebound for Jeanette Hicks. Cutting right to the 10 and lobs it up. Wanted to get a foul, but it goes out of bounds.
They got to make good decisions. And she usually does in transition.
But just not that time.
That time was a little shaky. It was a little shaky.
Middleton running the point for most of the game already. We expected her to really swap out with Jordan Reynolds. Here's DeShields, loses the ball, stolen by Hicks. Right to the rim. No good. The foul is called.
She's so good at that. And you can say, don't let her go right. She's too quick. You can't keep her from going right.
2 shots coming up for Jeanette Hicks. So far in this season, a 70% free throw shooter.
Yeah, much improved over last year. And again, she's got a good looking stroke. She has nice form.
First one is good.
And she's going to get fouled because she can drive it past you and get in there amongst the trees, and especially in transition like you saw right there.
Hicks misses the second one. Rebound, Mercedes Russell. 16-10. Under a minute left to go in the first quarter. Now Jordan Reynolds back out there. Working off a screen. Cuts in. Shot is no good. It looked like Reagan McGarity got a hand on it. It goes out of bounds, and the Hokies have it.
The Hokies have contested everything at the rim, whether it be shots or rebounds.
About a 5-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Back to Hicks.
Tennessee again in the 3-2 zone.
Trying to work against that zone. Down the right wing. Cook. Good.
Any zone that you can get the ball to the high post on is susceptible to that.
Middleton at the buzzer. No good. And the Hokies have an 8-point lead after 1 quarter of play in Blacksburg. The game so far for Virginia Tech. They have all the momentum. We're going to be right back for the second quarter. Hokies up by 8 here on ACC Network Extra.
Can you turn your volume up just a little bit?
Yeah. That better? Perfect. Okay.
Thank you.
No problem. What do you think so far?
Well, it looks like a team playing with a lot of confidence against one that's trying to figure out what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
You know, they have to play like this, scrap around and, you know, get the loose balls and keep them off the offensive glass. And so far,
yeah.
And they really haven't shot the ball great, have they?
No. Tech's only made 1 3-pointer. They're just shooting 47%.
That seemed a little bit better than I thought they would.
Tennessee has 6 turnovers.
What are the free throws?
Tennessee hasn't shot any. The only free throws were Hicks.
Well, that was the first
Yeah.
ones. Yeah, neither team wants to foul.
Yeah. Okay. So that's Hicks, Hill, and Cook, right? All right.
Thank you.
Thanks. got 15 seconds, and we're going to open up with a Hicks-Hill-Cook graphic. We're back at Castle Coliseum. Hokies up 18-10 so far. We're looking at these stars right now for Virginia Tech. Jeanette Hicks, Sidney Cook, and Sammy Hill. They played well today as well.
Balanced scoring is really a hard thing to defend. If you can only have a couple people that you've got to concentrate on, much easier to design your defense. The more, the better, and that's why we were talking about if Panousis joins this group like you expect her to, then you really have trouble for the opponents.
So far, 6 turnovers for Tennessee as opposed to 3 for Virginia Tech. Hokies only shooting 47.1% from the field. That's opposed to Tennessee, who are only shooting 31.3%. So it looks like both teams are struggling, but the Hokies have all the confidence right now.
Yeah, playing with a lot of confidence. A team that looks like they're 5-0, and Tennessee not shooting the ball well and turning it over and not getting second chances. That's going to be a problem if this continues. But again, they're searching for themselves. The Hokies come in, like you said, a couple road wins at Central Florida, at College of Charleston, last 2 times out. Started out 3-0 here at home. They are full of confidence right now.
Off the ball, foul called on Reagan McGarity.
Hokies zone on the baseline out of bounds that time.
Reynolds. Once again, another miss, but a rebound for Mercedes Russell. Picked right back up off the window and good.
Yeah, there's those second chance points. You can't let that happen. Going to happen some just due to sheer size. Tennessee has decided to stay with the zone. They like what they're doing out of that a little bit better than they were man-to-man, where Virginia Tech was getting some open drives to the rim.
10 on the shot clock. Hicks right to the hoop. No good. It's a good defensive stance right there for the Lady Vols.
Yeah, it sure was. Made her go left, and she's okay going left, but not as good as she is going right.
7th turnover, though, as Tennessee fails to get some points in transition.
You come down, you get a defensive stop, and right now Tennessee, and I could be just reading into this, but they look like they're pressing a little bit, trying really hard.
Back out to Panousis. 2 is no good. Long rebound, McGarity, put back, also not good, and then goes out of bounds. Kind of an ugly shot there for McGarity, but I gotta like the effort right there to get the rebound. 6-point lead for Tech.
Hokies showing them zone again. This is what bothered Tennessee at Penn State. They stood a little bit, didn't have a lot of movement, and never penetrated the zone via the pass or the dribble.
Middleton for 3. No good. And the Hokies get it right back again. Jeanette Hicks sprinting. Hill for 3. Both teams not shooting that well from beyond the arc. Tennessee 0 for 4. Now Virginia Tech 1 for 6. Now Hicks decides to just slow it down.
After the miss, Lady Vols in man-to-man.
Shot is no good for Hicks, but out of bounds. Virginia Tech will keep it.
Reynolds with a good defensive play right there. Forced her left, then blocked the shot on top of that.
Now Kayla Kinder back in there for Virginia Tech, the freshman from New York City. Lobs it out to her. 15 on the shot clock. Sammy Hill, layup, blocked, but a foul is called on Jordan Reynolds.
Thought she had another block right there. A little too much contact that time.
Haven't seen that so far from Sammy Hill in the game. Usually we've seen Vanessa Panousis and Jeanette Hicks drive to the rim. Sammy Hill decides to do it that time.
Yeah, and again, she's really expanded her game since last year. You know, she's always giving you that great effort and always giving you that emotion and hustle. But this year she is producing on the offensive end, and that has been her big reason for the Hokies start this season.
Senior from Toronto, Canada. Second shot, good. 7-point lead for the Hokies. DeShields. Stolen away by Hicks. Hokies moving fast. Panusis for three. No good. Rebound Cook. Put back. Falls off of the rim. Missed opportunity for Tech. Tennessee trying to capitalize. There's Mimi Jackson. Shot for Shaquila Nunn, no good. We're just seeing a plethora of ugly shots really from both teams in the past couple of seconds. Cook, straight to the rim.
There's a good looking shot.
There's one, they must have heard me. 9-point lead for Tech.
Hokies are liking this zone. Tennessee not penetrating that arc very much. There's a chance to get it inside and back out.
Looks like a little bit of a mismatch down low. But either way, the shot goes no good. Rebound Panusis. Back out to Sidney Cook. Long two. Off the front of the rim. Another senior from Portland, Oregon, taking it up.
See if they can penetrate this zone. Got it inside last time and back out.
None on Sidney Cook. Gets her basket.
Nunn did a nice job using her body there, protecting the basketball. Got to go inside against that zone, even though it's tempting to jack that outside shot.
Sammy Hill driving again, loses the ball, back out to Cook. No good.
Sidney Cook's got a good looking shot, doesn't she? They all look like they're going in.
Right. Reynolds, got it.
Again, penetrated the zone, in between the gap. Tennessee back in the zone after a made shot.
Only a 5-point lead for Tech, just up by 9, seemingly seconds ago. Sammy Hill, long two, no good.
Good rebound by Nard.
Seem a little bit more of a momentum transition right now, back to the Lady Vols. Nard loses the ball. Jeanette Hicks once again. Back out to Hill, layup, no good. And it will stay with Virginia Tech. Fresh set of legs coming in for the Hokies. Virginia Tech's just starting to lose those very short shots right there, Mac, and they were set up pretty well.
Yeah, and the size bothers them a little bit. That's part of it. Part of it's rushing.
There's Kayla Kinder. DeRosa. No good. Hokies have made only one three-pointer in the game so far. Feed down low to Nunn. No good.
It's a great position, but McGarity held her ground.
DeRosa once again. Floater no good, but draws a foul.
Little mix-up on the defensive assignment right there led to a foul.
That will bring us to another media timeout. Hokies up by 5. It's 21-16, second quarter from Castle Coliseum. And these things really roll by. You know?
Yeah.
They seem fast, yeah.
There haven't been a lot of stoppages in play either.
No,
so,
no.
Yeah.
Is there anything I'm doing that you want me to do?
No, I'm just trying to get my timing down so I don't talk on you all
No,
day.
no, it's fine. I mean, that's going to happen.
What do you need from me?
Nothing. I think you're doing great. I got to relay something to you. I'm just kind of letting the game breathe. I don't want to talk too much. Don't want to talk too little. I did like 2 radio games, and now when I'm doing TV, it's a lot different. Yeah. I couldn't do this. No.
Well, you were an offensive lineman. How are you supposed to do that?
For real. 45 seconds. All right. Thank you. Are we opening up with anything, or are we just going straight into it? Okay, coming back with highlights. Back in Blacksburg, so far Virginia Tech up by 5 over the number 17 ranked Tennessee Lady Volunteers. Glad to have you with us here on ACC Network Extra. Bailey Angle, Mac McCarthy. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half so far. Stolen away by Jeanette Hicks. She's really commanded so far for Virginia Tech.
And that's one of the 9 turnovers that the Lady Vols have committed. Jordan Reynolds penetrated the zone finally. They've gotten it inside a couple times. Shaquila Nunn has done a nice job of getting inside position, but that was the one time she got something done with that position.
Hokies fans and Tennessee fans alike glad to be in Castle Coliseum here on this Sunday afternoon. DeAndre DeRosa is going to shoot a few free throws coming up as both teams get back onto the hardwood.
Concern for Kenny Brooks right now in the second quarter, only 1 for 13 from the field. They've done a great job defensively. They've held them to 32%. The Lady Vols only shooting 32%, turned it over 9 times, but the Hokies have not been able to capitalize on it by only going 1 for 13 from the field, 0 for 3 from beyond the arc.
So far, Virginia Tech just shooting 29%. Second shot good from DeRosa. So DeRosa has 3 total points. Tennessee wasting no time at all, and Reynolds misses her shot. Russell with a putback.
Finally, the Lady Vols got something in transition. Missed the shot, but Russell running the floor, got the rebound, and stuck it back in.
Hicks from the free throw line.
Yeah, that was something she didn't do consistently well last year that she has added to her game.
Shots are dropping a little bit better for the point guard out of Norfolk. Cousins actually with Cam Chancellor, the safety for the Seattle Seahawks. 10 on the shot clock. DeShields. Time running out, long 2. Off the front of the rim. Look at that size mismatch. Draws a foul.
And DeShields and Russell both can take over a game. And so far, Virginia Tech has not allowed that. Russell coming back in after a few minutes on the bench now, asserting herself on the offensive glass.
Now Mercedes Russell with her first free throws of the day, shooting around 70% this year as the first one drops through the nylon.
She's a really good player. She can really pass the ball. She's a solid shooter, can run the floor well, uses her size. She can become a dominant player.
Gets both of them. Now has 8 points. Actually had a double-double the last time these two teams played in Knoxville. 14 points and 15 rebounds for Russell. Now she has 8 points and 7 rebounds.
Lady Vols seem to have a little bit more energy now. Pressed back to the zone.
Kendall Brooks' 3 is no good. Rebound to Reynolds. Reynolds to DeShields. Cross court. Russell again. Ugly shot.
Nard is really impressive.
Nard's pass rolls out of bounds. It did not hit the rim, or Russell's shot did not hit the rim. So it's still 16 seconds left on the shot clock as Sammy Hill will jog in.
Nard, another of those Portland, Oregon products, really talented. Plays inside and out at 6'2", but she doesn't mind playing in a crowd, doesn't mind all that contact. She's really good.
Mimi Jackson, good. And the lead is down to 1. Hokies were up by 9 just minutes ago. Hicks in a bit of trouble.
Hokies Still need to spread that floor, take the opportunities when they can to drive the basketball.
Another three-pointer from Kendall Brooks, and it goes off. So now Tennessee has a chance to get the lead. Feed down low, and a foul is called. And you're right, Jamie Nard just been everywhere on the floor today. Another foul is called on Virginia Tech. So Kendall Brooks is going to go to the sideline as Vanessa Panousis comes right back in.
Courtney Dunbar now in the game for Tennessee. Another of those really good athletes at 6'2", can really shoot the ball from the perimeter.
Now Dunbar actually was 5'7" her sophomore year of high school, and by the end of her junior year, shot up to 6'2". Shot is no good, but it's going to stick with Tennessee.
The home crowd here at Castle disagree with that call.
It's a good crowd today for a non-conference matchup.
Thanksgiving weekend, and of course you mentioned Tennessee fans, they travel too. A lot of orange in the house.
It's not a long drive, either about, what would you say, 3.5, 4 hours? In transition to Nard. Layup, good, and Tennessee has the lead. Timeout called by Kenny Brooks. And now Tennessee has their first lead since the first quarter. That was early in the first quarter off of the first shot of the game.
Yeah, one of the things that happened right there was anytime penetration by the point guard happens, you're susceptible to the run out if the shot doesn't go in. That's what happened that time. Tennessee got the run out, and now they've come all the way back and taken the lead, despite the fact that Virginia Tech has played really well defensively.
Take another look at it.
Right there, and then you've got numbers going the other way, and Nard, who we've talked about, finishes it on the other end to give Tennessee the lead since very early.
25-24, and Tennessee only had the lead on the first basket of the game. That was Jamie Nard's 4th point of this contest, but she does have 6 rebounds, as well as a steal for the Lady Vols. Now the Hokies trailing. Jeanette Hicks is going to slow it down for Virginia Tech, even though she's moved so fast so far in this contest. Sammy Hill for 3. No good.
Tennessee staying in the zone. The Hokies have shot it up from outside, but they're not knocking them down right now.
1 for 12 from beyond the arc. But here comes Jeanette Hicks.
That'll get you going.
Hokies have the lead right back.
How do you beat a zone? Don't play against it. Just beat them down the floor.
26-25, Virginia Tech, another steal for Jeanette Hicks.
A really big basket right there. Tennessee had all the momentum. Jeanette Hicks does what she does.
Shot is good. Jamie Nard.
She's been a huge part of this comeback, along with Russell coming off the bench with a couple big offensive rebounds.
So now 7 points for the forward. Lob down low, McGarity.
That was such a great play. The pass from Hicks, but the positioning by McGarity got inside the defender and held her position. A beautiful play.
A little over a minute before halftime, all tied up. The Shields.
Hokies have paid a lot of attention to the Shields, not giving her many open looks.
Long 3, no good. Rebound, Jeanette Hicks.
And that time, Tennessee settled for the 3 without the ball ever penetrating the zone. Look at Nard.
Loose ball, and now the Vols have it back. Once again, another errant pass, but Sammy Hill bats it out of bounds.
Great hustle right there. Russell was out ahead, and Hill ran her down.
All tied up, 40.1 seconds left in the first half.
The quality of play has picked up here.
Seems like teams were swapping bad shots before, and now they're kind of punching each other back on these great shots the past couple of seconds.
Got to penetrate that zone. Can't just play outside the arc.
Nard into the perimeter. Now Reynolds, 3-pointer. Banks it in. Right before the buzzer.
Sometimes prayers are answered, huh?
31-28. Now a 3-pointer from Panousis, no good. Rebound McGarity, blocked. And that will be the first half. The three-pointer gives Tennessee the lead right before halftime. What a run for the Lady Vols. They will walk into the locker room with a three-point lead. We got a great one here, folks, on ACC Network Extra. Tennessee up 31-28. The Virginia Tech Hokies. What a shot. you know?
Okay, what we got?
Okay, 2 minutes. Okay, so we're starting it off with me and Mac, though, right? Are me and Mac going to be on camera? Okay, just got to put my jacket on. Okay. That I did the other day? All right. Okay, so when are we on camera? First segment after the highlights. Okay. So wait, are you playing the highlights first and then coming to us? Okay. Look at these runs. We got 30 seconds. Open up with highlights. I was just talking to Mac.
And the other two segments are?
Interview and then stats.
Okay, so the middle one,
we're already
out.
done. Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome back to Blacksburg. We're at halftime here. Tennessee up 31-28 on the Virginia Tech Hokies. The Vols had a great run as we take a look at some highlights from the first half, Mac. First off, Virginia Tech looked pretty good, but then the Lady Vols were able to penetrate that zone.
Yeah, and that time they didn't penetrate it. Shot clock ran down, and Jordan Reynolds banked in a prayer.
And as Virginia Tech getting a few more shots to go, they haven't shot well from the field or outside of the perimeter, and then Tennessee just heated up from outside the arc right before the end of the half. But then Jeanette Hicks did a great job of trying to feed it into her bigs down low.
Yeah, Megan McGarity getting great position. Vols got out in transition, and Mercedes Russell came off the bench and got 2 or 3 big offensive rebounds in a row to really give the Lady Vols a lift.
Jeanette Hicks really has been what's been good about Virginia Tech so far in this game. She does have a couple of steals and then 4 points as well. Well, everybody, Bailey Engel, Mac McCarthy, glad to have you with us here on ACC Network Extra. Mac, it's been a fun game to watch so far, but Virginia Tech had such a big lead, Tennessee able to storm back. If the Hokies are going to try to pull off an upset today, what are they going to have to do in the second half?
Well, Kenny Brooks is upset right now, mainly because the offense let him down. They really stopped attacking against the zone for the most part. McGarity did a good job of getting position. Hicks did a good job of penetrating, but they couldn't make any perimeter shots, so they had a bad shooting quarter, and eventually the defense let down just a little bit, allowed Tennessee to come back and take the 31-28 lead.
You talk about what allowed Tennessee to come back. What changed about them from what we saw in the first quarter, moving on into the end of the first half?
Well, they just kept getting stops, and finally a few of those stops turned into easy baskets on the other end, but it was still back and forth, and we're still in a very, very tight game. The Hokies hung in there with their defense, and the Vols created some offense out of theirs.
Should be a fun one. We're going to take another quick break here on our halftime presentation. We'll be right back with an interview with head coach Kenny Brooks of Virginia Tech basketball. Do I have to introduce it, or you? Okay. Sweet. Stuff really rolls by. All right, Coach, so undefeated, 5-0. This program hasn't been 5-0 since the 2013-2014 season. How's it been so far?
Our goal is to get better each and every game, and we feel like that we're understanding each other, our movements, our tendencies, and what we need to do to continue to get better, because I think this team has potential to be a really good basketball team. So very proud, happy where we are, but we understand that we have a lot of work to do, and every day we step out on the court, we want to get better.
So let's talk about you for a second. You're a coach at JMU for 14 years. Then you make the transition to Virginia Tech. How has that change been so far?
It's been a whirlwind. You think of the similarities at the two state schools, 2 hours apart, but there are a lot of differences. And any time that you're uprooting your family, you're uprooting your staff. You know, a majority of my staff from James Madison came down to Virginia Tech with me. And so everyone's learning on the fly. We understand that each and everything that we do is going to matter in the long run, and it's a process, and we understand that. And we're looking forward to all the challenges that present themselves, and we've taken it on, and I'm really proud of each and every one who's done so.
So now you're into the heat of the non-conference schedule, Tennessee and then Nebraska. What do you expect out of your team?
Well, I expect for them to go out and fight, you know, make Hokie Nation proud. And I think if we do all the little things and do the things we're capable of doing and try to get better each and every game, we'll give ourselves a chance to win, you know, every game that we play. And we're just trying to build that confidence right now with the kids, and they understand that. And having a couple close games on the road and being able to prevail, you know, through those situations, I think it's really going to bode well for us in the end. Because, you know, if you want to be a great basketball team, you have to learn how to win on the road. You have to learn how to win through adversity. And I think the last couple of games we're able to do so.
All right, Coach Brooks, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
How many minutes we got? Minute 45, all right. 6:30 and counting.
Women's basketball 5-game flex plans are currently on sale. Choosing the 5 remaining home games.
Okay. Yeah, that's a long time. And after stats, we throw it to break again, right?
The Montgomery County Christmas store will be collecting new and gently used toys to benefit local Montgomery County families at the Hokies' next home game on December 1st. We ask all fans to please consider making a donation.
2:20. All right.
Today's game is brought to you by Carillion Clinic, improving the health of the communities we serve.
Okay. All right. We're going to come back with stats, and they said that you're good at filling time. So.
Just tell me what we got.
All right. What's
on,
that?
On or off camera?
I think we're off camera, right? Okay, off camera.
Okay.
Men's soccer is going to the Elite Eight.
Sweet.
Yeah. Kind of cool.
Where will that be?
I don't know. We got 1 minute, though. Welcome back to Blacksburg. We're at halftime still. Tennessee up 31-28 as we take a look at the stats, Mac. What jumps out at you so far?
Well, the drought in the first quarter for Tennessee and the drought in the second quarter for the Virginia Tech Hokies are the two obvious things. Tennessee starting to assert themselves inside. Russell and Nard on their way. They both came off double-doubles against Penn State. They're doing it again. They need some help from their backcourt. Hicks, on the other hand, needs just a little more help in general. While she's created some offense, 7 total points for her, but she also has 4 turnovers, most of them coming on transition efforts where she took it to the hole and got it knocked away from her. But she still has to create offense, and the reason she hasn't created the offense that she normally does is the Hokies are 1 for 13 from 3.
1 for 13 from 3. Tennessee not doing that much better, just 3 for 8. But as you take a look at how teams are shooting from the field, Tennessee just shooting 36.1%, and then the Hokies shooting 30.8%. So those aren't numbers to write home about.
No, yeah, and if you're Kenny Brooks, you want to make sure you take good shots. And I don't know that I could call any of the threes really bad shots. There were a couple quick ones without probing the defense. Anytime the ball gets into the lane and back out, your percentages go up on a three-point shot, whether it's a post kicking it out or penetration by Hicks. On the other end, Tennessee, the number they don't want to see is that turnover number. They are committing over 16 turnovers a game on the season, and they're on a pace to break that average with 10 in the first half, and that kept them from having a chance to be decent offensively in that first half. But they trailed the whole half and came away with the lead. Maybe just a little momentum for the Lady Vols going into the second half.
Halftime almost over. A 3-point lead for Tennessee. We're going to be right back with the third quarter here on the ACC Network Extra. Great job.
Did that explain it?
Yeah, I get it now.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of ways to look at it. Try to tell them something that they understand, right?
Yeah, making it easy.
There you go. Tech couldn't shoot, and Tennessee can't hold on to it.
Right.
All right. That's why
yeah.
we can't score.
7 points off turnovers for both teams, even though it kind of seems like that's a low number.
Yeah, and the reason Tech's number isn't higher is because Hicks didn't finish on some of those plays.
Right.
Between getting shots blocked and turning the ball over.
Yeah.
Or kicking it out, making a good play, and then not making it. So
yeah.
2 assists on 12 baskets is terrible.
Yeah. Got under 10. Now ready to start the third quarter. Lady Vols ending the first half on a bit of a momentum swing. They're up by 3, 31-28 on the Virginia Tech Hokies. They're number 17 in the country, the Lady Vols, and Virginia Tech trying to beat Tennessee for the second time in their program's history and the second time in a row after winning in Knoxville last year. But the Lady Vols seem like they have revenge on their mind here in Blacksburg. Bailey Engel, Mac McCarthy, glad to have you with us. It was a fun first half, but for Virginia Tech and Tennessee, they have a lot of things to mop up on coming up in the second half of play.
Yeah, and it's a little bit of a chess match. Both teams showed a lot of zone, and that was fairly effective. But both coaches are going to adjust to that. They're going to find a way to probe the zone, whether it's through dribble penetration, quick reversals, dumping it inside, going in on the strong side and kicking it back out and getting the ball reversed. Both coaches are too good at coaches. We talked about Holly Warlick's record. We talked about Kenny Brooks' record. Kenny, the last 11 years at JMU, they went to 11 straight postseason play opportunities, and he won over 26 games a year. That's just outstanding. These folks know what they're doing, and this is going to be fun to watch. Tennessee opens in the zone.
Jeanette Hicks trying to probe through that zone, as you talked about, Mac. Something that the Hokies have struggled with as a big trap causes Sidney Cook to falter. But a foul is called on Tennessee.
Yeah, they showed the zone and then went to the trap. They hadn't shown that, but came out of it with a foul. Didn't get the turnover they were looking, and they're back to man on the second possession.
Now Vanessa Panousis as the lone three-pointer for Virginia Tech. A team that shoots a lot of threes. McGarity to the 10. No good.
The Hokies just are a lot more comfortable against that man-to-man.
Reynolds from the line. No good. Down to Panousis. Feed down low to McGarity. Off the window and in.
Really nice pass right there. Panousis, the veteran leader, has been a point guard most of her career. Gets to play the two guard now that Hicks has taken over at the point. And McGarity using her body to get that ball in the basket. Really nice play.
Swatted away. It looked like Jeanette Hicks got a finger on it. Now down even lower to Nard and gets it over Sidney Cook.
I'm just really impressed by Jamie Nard. She's got 9 and 6 now. Couple steals on top of that.
Foul is called on Alexa Middleton as Jeanette Hicks tried to move her way inside on Tennessee. It's Middleton's second personal foul and already 2 fouls for Tennessee here in the second half. Sammy Hill for 3. Almost rattled in. So the woes continue for Virginia Tech from beyond the arc. 1 for 14.
And again, that was a good shot, wide open.
Good shot for Jordan Reynolds.
Really nice balance. 3 for 5 now, 7 points. Couple blocks and a steal.
Jeanette Hicks moving so quickly.
How many times have we seen that? A nice jump shot on the other end, it rattles in, and here comes Hicks before we can even talk about the jump shot on the other end.
It almost seems like it's been working better for Virginia Tech when they move fast with Hicks rather than slow it down and try to move through the zone.
Well, they're certainly much better in transition.
Air ball for Mercedes Russell, and the Hokies have it right back. To McGarity. Another missed layup. Foul is called on the Hokies. Looks like they're going to get Reagan McGarity for another one.
Nice job on the transition, but McGarity's 3rd foul, and again, Kenny Brooks has done such a good job of kind of babysitting them, and I don't mean that in a negative term, but with the foul situation. Take them out, get them back in, keep them from being in such foul trouble that he doesn't have them at the end of the game. He's done a really nice job with that. A little smoke and mirrors right there. Hokies back into man-to-man.
And if you're Virginia Tech, you definitely don't want Reagan McGarity in foul trouble because she's one of the only players that can really match up with Mercedes Russell in size. I mean, Mercedes Russell still has 3 inches on her, but Reagan McGarity being 6'3" makes it a little bit tougher.
Yeah, and she goes out now with that 3rd foul, and we'll see if Tennessee can take advantage of that with the size differential in there right now. Sidney Cook being the biggest player on the floor for the Hokies.
Cook only 6'2". Hicks inside the perimeter once again. Open 3. Good.
The biggest improvement she's made. Very comfortable shooting that shot in rhythm.
First 3-pointer for Jeanette Hicks. She now has 12 points.
And that came off penetration, and it disrupted the coverage of the zone.
Jamie Nard
trying to go to the Shields, posted up against Hicks.
Stolen away by Hicks. Sprinting down the floor. The layup. No good. Great job on defense right there by Tennessee. Now the ball goes out of bounds. And Virginia Tech thinks that it went off of the Tennessee hands.
I think they thought there was a foul, and I think they thought it was off Tennessee. You don't win many of those arguments, do you?
No.
I've been on that sideline. I've never won any of them.
Well, the referee stays strong. Kenny Brooks is.
He's still making his argument. Tie game, you got to fight for every possession.
Now Reynolds for 2. Air ball. Hokies have it. All tied up. It's been a great game so far. Really the main storyline for Virginia Tech being undefeated. Are they for real? Trying to prove that today against a ranked Story program in Tennessee. Sammy Hill swatted away by Diamond DeShields.
Yeah, we talked about most of the threes being good shots. That one wasn't so good. If you get a 3-point shot block, you might ought to rethink that one.
Hill will inbound it out to Jeanette Hicks. 15 on the shot clock. Hicks for 2. Draws a foul. That one's going to be on Jordan Reynolds. It'll be her third personal foul. So another player in foul trouble, this time on Tennessee.
Amy Jackson gets ready to come in. Reynolds will take that seat with that foul.
First shot for Jeanette Hicks. Good. 2 for 3 from the line so far, trying to make it 3 for 4 for the second one. Meanwhile, the Hokies have the lead once again.
Your point guard's got to be a good free throw shooter, especially in late game situations. Jeanette's up to 70% this year. 1 of 2 that time.
Diamond to Shields, cutting towards the basket. What a great layup. Maybe one of the better players in the entire country. Diamond to Shields trying to edge the Hokies here in Castle Coliseum. Now has 8 points. As the Lady Vols right back in the lead. Panousis, turnaround. Ugly shot.
Not her specialty.
Tipped up in the air by Hicks. Moving fast against Russell. Layup is no good. Put back Cook. Yes.
Great job by Sidney Cook. Following up the miss by Hicks, the follow by Cook.
Middleton now running the point with Jordan Reynolds on the bench. Feed down low to Nard. Misses the layup. Own rebound. Swatted away by Jeanette Hicks once again.
Nard missed the bunny, and then Hicks was there to take it away.
Cook gets the and one.
Big swap right there. That's a 5-point potential swing in one possession.
All started by Jeanette Hicks. A low feed down to Sidney Cook.
Gets the layup, the steal, and here we come the other way.
Good feed down to Sidney Cook. She finishes and will shoot a free throw after the break. 40-37. Hokies up here in the third quarter.
Now, fans, please welcome back to the floor your Virginia Tech dance team, the High Techs.
That was a fun play.
Yeah, it's a big
Yeah,
play.
for real.
5-point swing. Tennessee was going to be ahead, and they could be down 4 before they get the ball back.
Right. This game means a lot early. I mean, I know it's only November, but it means a lot for the Hokies. At 90 seconds. Thank you.
Let's hear it for the High Techs. All right, ladies, it's now time for you to show us your best moves on the Smooth Move Stage Maker. Your chance to get a free smoothie. Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Be better, feel better.
Less than 30 seconds, Mac. 10 seconds. Well, we have a fun one here in Blacksburg. 40-37, Virginia Tech up on the number 17 at Tennessee Lady Vols, trying to prove a big upset and stay undefeated, while Tennessee is trying to avoid their second straight loss. Right before the break, we saw Jeanette Hicks put a hand on a ball down low with Tennessee and then throw it all the way down to Sidney Cook. Gets the and one. Now Virginia Tech now trying to complete a 5-point swing, Matt.
Yeah, had a wide open shot by Nard on the other end. Hicks knocks it away for her 6th steal of the game, and then find Sidney Cook, who's also gotten a couple offensive rebounds. The Hokies, if you had told me the Hokies were going to have 11 offensive rebounds to Tennessee's 9, I'd say, hey, this is going to be a pretty close game, and it is.
Sidney Cook's shot, no good. So the attempt to complete the old-fashioned three-point play, unsuccessful. Still a three-point lead for Virginia Tech. Foul called on Kendall Brooks. Actually going to be on Sammy Hill.
Yeah, Sammy Hill, they posted her up, and she had a size differential there, and that they're going to continue to do that. Look to Russell up top to throw it down low to Nard, whoever she has against her.
Nard doubled up. Baseline shot, got it. That's Mimi Jackson.
You know, even though Russell was double teamed, she's an outstanding passer, but good things happen when the ball gets in the lane. Whether you throw it there or you dribble it there. And something good happened again for Tennessee right there. Even though Russell couldn't complete the play, she assisted on the play, and Mimi Jackson with the three-point opportunity.
No good. Hokies will keep the lead off of the long rebound from Kendall Brooks.
Hokies buying some time, though, hanging in there with McGarity on the bench. Sammy Hill basically playing the power forward right now.
Sammy Hill now 0 for 10 from the field. Not her game so far. Tennessee moving very well in transition. DeShields draws a foul.
Yeah, and DeShields started that play with the block on the other end. She ran the floor, got the pass ahead, and then took it to the rim.
Well, Holly Warlick very animated on the sidelines right now for Tennessee. Her team has struggled, but find their moments to give Virginia Tech a run for their money on their home court. The game is now tied.
Of course, Holly started her coaching career right here at Virginia Tech, along with, she was a grad assistant for Carol Alfano back in the day, and of course, she's been at Tennessee forever. You made the comparison of Coach Guthridge in North Carolina. That's an apt comparison.
Holly Warlick was at Tennessee as a basketball player, two-time All-American. First player in any sport at the university to have her number retired. And was here for 2 years as a GA in the early 1980s. Has been in Knoxville since the 85-86 season. Sidney Cook, another and one, fired up as she should be.
That's a good take right there. From the baseline, drive it to the middle, and finish it with contact. Watch this, the ball got inside again, shot fake, drive it to the rim. What touch?
So Sidney Cook trying to complete the three-point play. Can't do it. Hit the iron very hard, rolls over the top of the backboard. 9th lead change today. That's what you can expect from a fired-up team like Virginia Tech and a very talented team like the Tennessee Lady Vols.
McGarity back on the floor, so a little more traditional sized lineup, but the Hokies still at a height disadvantage.
Reagan McGarity with 3 personal fouls. Stolen by Hicks.
7 steals on the day.
Layup. Good.
She's so fast.
7 steals. She had 6 against the College of Charleston in the win down in southern South Carolina. Now with 7 against Tennessee. Mercedes Russell. Both of these teams just trading knockout punches.
That's good basketball right there. A little ball screen and roll. This is basic. You got give and go and screen and roll. 2 of the most fundamental offensive moves. And Russell brought the ball down, got fouled, and finished.
So now Mercedes Russell will try to tie it up.
Already with a double-double.
And now we are all knotted up. 44-44.
Fans getting their money's worth today, Bailey.
Mercedes Russell now with 11 total points and 12 rebounds. Kick out to Hicks. Towards the basket, no good. Second try. She's going to shoot for 2. so much energy out of the point guard.
Yeah, and so athletic, too. She's got great speed, great first step, stays with it. She's in there amongst the trees, and she draws the foul.
Still able to get her own rebound, even being in the middle of what she said, like a forest down in the low end of the paint. She gets her first shot. Hokies have the lead right back.
One of the great things about the game of basketball is when a small player can dominate a game, and she has at times today.
Rebound McGarity, put back, yes.
That's 4 fundamentals right there. Blocking out on a free throw, that drives coaches crazy.
Tennessee down by 3. DeShields tries to split the Hokies and loses the ball. McGarity, layup is in.
What a good play. You could give a big person the ball in the wrong place. Panousis waited till she could finish it without putting it on the floor. Really nice play.
Looked like Panousis wanted to shoot right there, but made the great decision to hand it off to her redshirt sophomore teammate. Three-pointer no good. And here's Shanette Hicks. Hicks once again right through the middle. Back to McGarity.
That's big-time basketball right there.
Timeout called by Tennessee. Hokies up by 7. Reagan McGarity, a couple of layups. Just great choices right here, especially from the point guard, Shanette Hicks.
Hicks and Panousis feeding McGarity as the trailer. Great plays.
2 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Hokies up by 7, 51-44. Wow. 7-0 run. The scores right now? Okay. Okay. $45 seconds. All right. Those were just ACC scores, right? Okay. McGarity's made past 6 points.
Yeah, rebound and 2 fast breaks.
Yeah. (51-44) Hokies on a 7-0 run right now over the Tennessee Lady Volunteers. Megan McGarity with the past 6 points. As we take a look at some scores around the ACC, the ranked Hurricanes up 74-56. As for Louisville, they're down by 24 to number 3 South Carolina. Duke and Pepperdine coming up, and Syracuse and DePaul also squaring up to tip off at 5 o'clock. Now we're back in Blacksburg, though. The Hokies, just a lightning bolt of energy right now, Mac.
Yeah, I think when they're showing this score around the league, there's some eyes opening, because nobody was sure. Yeah, for 5-0. Let's see how they do against Tennessee, a ranked Tennessee team, a team that could be a contender for the Final Four, a team that went to the Elite Eight last year. The Hokies are answering those questions on the back of Reagan McGarity right now with 6 straight points to put the Hokies up 7.
Under 2 minutes left to go in the third quarter. We've seen Tennessee get on some runs. They were leading at halftime, 31-28. Nard loses the ball. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Middleton, no good. Reagan McGarity feeds it up to Hicks. Sammy Hill looking for her first points. Not a great pass. McGarity wrestling the ball away. And it's going to go back to Tennessee.
Yeah, Hicks tried to set Sammy Hill up for the three-point shot. Good closeout by Tennessee that time for Sammy to drive it in there.
Sammy Hill actually with 1 point. She made 1 free throw. Still 0 for 10 from the field and 0 for 6 from beyond the perimeter. Mimi Jackson's pass stolen by Hicks. Moving fast once again and draws a foul.
We talked about some of the great athletes Tennessee had in the pregame, and we did talk about Jeanette Hicks, but was that an athletic play or what?
That's her 8th steal of the ball game. So far shooting 50% from the line in this game. She's 3 for 6. Take another look at this steal.
Just a sophomore out of Maury High School, another of the great 7'5" athletes to matriculate to Virginia Tech in all sports.
First free throw for Jeanette Hicks is good. Now it's an 8-point lead for the Hokies. McGarity's going to walk to the bench.
Yeah, I think they're going to try to save her for that fourth quarter with those 3 fouls. We're going to play small right here.
Sidney Cook being really the only size for Virginia Tech on the floor, matched up with Mercedes Russell as that one rims in. Largest lead of the game for Virginia Tech. They're up by 9 in the first half, now up by 9 with under a minute left to go in the third quarter. Here's Mimi Jackson.
Hokies very aggressively closing out, stopping the dribblers with help.
5 on the shot clock, 3-pointer, no good. Hokies had to force them to shoot a pretty contested 3 right there. And now have a chance to go up by double digits for the first time today.
It was a good possession. And again, Kenny Brooks takes McGarity out right at the right time, and they survived that defensive possession without her on the floor.
Panousis almost loses the ball. Jeanette Hicks recovers. Cook. Another assist for Jeanette Hicks. Another great choice. Hokies up by 11. Middleton. No good. So much momentum for this Virginia Tech squad. End of the third quarter, Hokies up 55-44. Going to be right back with the fourth quarter. Jeanette Hicks dominating. Sidney Cook with a good layup, up by 11. Going to be right back with the fourth quarter here on ACC Network Extra.
And now please direct your attention to the video board for today's Delta Dental Smile Cam. Delta Dental of Virginia, we love to see you smile.
Ooh. Been fun, Mac. I'm having a blast. Yeah.
Appreciate you. Let me sit beside you.
1 minute. Playlist of steals. Okay, I see that. Thank you. Back in Blacksburg, ready for the fourth quarter. So far, it's been all Virginia Tech in that third quarter. 55-44, Hokies up by 11. A big part of that, Jeanette Hicks, who has 8 steals.
Just a stat sheet stuffer. She has shot more free throws than Tennessee has, just herself. 5 rebounds, 3 assists, the 8 steals, 18 points. And she has just generated this offense almost all on her own.
This just created so many opportunities for the Hokies. Swatting that ball away, and we're ready to start the fourth quarter. Hicks once again running the point.
Tennessee showing a little bit of zone right here.
Hokies on an 11-0 run to end the third quarter. Ball goes out of bounds, and Tennessee will have it. Hicks also with 18 points in this game.
Tennessee scored 10, then 21, then 13. And the Hokies had 27 in that quarter. Tennessee looking to bounce back, coming here to a double-digit deficit.
Mercedes Russell finds an open Jamie Nard, no good. Reynolds put back once again, misses. Couple of putbacks. Tennessee can't find those layups.
Yeah, that's what Kenny Brooks was afraid of, them just playing volleyball with it on the offensive glass, but even when they did, they didn't finish it.
Out to Sammy Hill, three-pointer, air ball. So the tough day for Sammy Hill continues. Getting back on defense, though, and making it tough.
The Shields with a bad pass to Nard, then forced the shot up.
Sammy Hill right to the hoop, gets the layup.
I know it's cliche, but she is the Energizer Bunny. You got her playing hard. Hicks plays so hard.
Tennessee scrambling to find an answer. Reynolds gets some points, and that breaks the 13-0 run for Virginia Tech.
That was a nice attack coming off the ball screen. Didn't really make her stop. She got all the way into the lane, got a high percentage shot.
Reynolds now with 9 points.
Hokies have to keep attacking, keep the floor spread, and keep attacking.
McGarity, no good. Talk about attacking. They've done that so well with Reagan McGarity, especially right there at the end of the third quarter.
Yeah, and that was a good play too. Just didn't get it all the way to the rim.
Nard's three, no good. Now a foul called on Virginia Tech. It's going to be on Sidney Cook. That's her first personal. We take another look at it. Hooks came down. They must have bowed Diamond DeShields in the face.
And they'll take a look at this. They'll take a look at this. Anytime there's contact up in the head area with the elbow, they'll look at it and decide what we're going to see. We'll probably get an explanation. They may be getting the same view of it that we got here on the replay.
Very tough play right there as we take another look at it. The Hokies talking with Kenny Brooks right now, trying to see if this one is a flagrant foul. She goes up. Pretty close.
Yeah, I'm not sure she saw her there. I can't from that angle. You can't really tell. There certainly was contact.
All the referees now going to the replay, trying to figure this one out.
Eric Bruton and Bruce Morris, along with Talisa Green. Veteran crew. Bruce Morris, kind of well known for the longest shot in college basketball. And she did extend that arm, and she did make contact above the neck.
So the referees now faced with a big decision. Hokies seem to be in jovial spirits, though.
Well, they've played really well. They've played unselfishly. They've shared the basketball, run the floor hard, and battled a much bigger, stronger Tennessee team.
And that's one of the more impressive things we see out of the stat sheet for Virginia Tech. Even though they're playing a little bit smaller than Tennessee, Sidney Cook still managed to get 9 rebounds. So she's only 1 rebound away from another double-double. Has 14 points. Reagan McGarity has been able to play well down low as well, even playing against teams or a team with someone like Mercedes Russell, who's 6'6". South Carolina able to get the win against Louisville. They're going to bring in Holly Warlick to talk it over, as well as Kenny Brooks. Two very talented coaches, Mac.
Oh, yeah, and they're going to do a great job. And, you know, Holly's the perfect person. If you can have a perfect person to go in for Pat Summitt and Kenny Brooks, longtime head coach in this state, did such a great job at JMU.
So they're going to let Diamond DeShields have 2 shots.
So they have called a flagrant foul.
Big opportunity for Tennessee. First one no good. Hokies fans not liking this one bit. Gets the second one, cuts the lead down to 10. So Tennessee will have another chance.
And a flagrant foul, they get the ball out of bounds also.
Back out top to DeShields. Transfer from North Carolina. Mercedes Russell powering to the hoop.
Hicks tried to stick a hand in there, but it was one-on-one. Advantage Russell in that situation if she catches it that deep.
18 points for Shanette Hicks, 14 for Sidney Cook, both of them leading the way.
And the Hokies need to answer. Still up 8, still very comfortable.
DeRosa for 3. Nothing but air. McGarity down to the hard floor. And the tie-up will keep the ball with Virginia Tech.
Another good hustle play. McGarity getting on the floor.
McGarity, one of those 3 players on this Virginia Tech squad in double figures. 14 points for the redshirt sophomore from Sweden. Now another conference between Eric Bruton and Talisa Green.
Yeah, I think it's Virginia Tech ball if it's the alternate possession, but the arrow is pointing to Tennessee. No, it is. There was another
now
one.
It'll stay with Tennessee.
The error was correct.
Lead down to 8 for Virginia Tech. We're going to have to see how important that flagrant foul proves to be. Meanwhile, Shanette Hicks trying to get another steal. Almost had one. Reynolds off the glass.
Nice play by Jordan Reynolds. Used her bigger body to protect the ball. Made a nice shot in the lane. She made a couple nice plays here in the 4th quarter. Tennessee staying with the zone.
Lead has been cut down to 6.
The Hokies just 2 of 16 from deep. Percentage-wise, that would look like the play to make right here.
7 on the shot clock. Sammy Hill blocked. That's Jamie Nard.
Nard's just been really impressive.
That's her first block of the game. Fans wanted a walk. Another tie-up. This time it'll go with Tech.
Tennessee still a little bit tentative on the offensive end. Nard picked the ball up in an awkward spot. Reynolds drove it, but got off balance. But a 6-point game.
Hokies' largest lead was a few moments ago. They were up by 13. They'll cut down to 6. Gherdan thought about it. Pump fake. Loses the ball. Middleton. What a move.
Really nice play. Pass fake during the middle of the drive and the layup.
The layup is good, and it is brought down to a 4-point lead. 57-53. We've got a ball game here, folks, as we head to break. Hokies up by 4. Tennessee is talented. Yeah, they're not going down easy. It's a 9-0 run.
All right, fans, get on up and make some noise. It's time for another Hokies T-shirt toss.
Got an exciting one here at Castle Coliseum, 57-53. The Hokies had a 13-0 run going into the fourth quarter, and then a 9-0 run for Tennessee has brought us back to a 4-point lead as we take a look at some of the highlights from the Lady Vols.
Alexa Middleton in transition, faked the pass, laid it up, really skilled right there. Jordan Reynolds, we talked about, being a little bit more assertive on the offensive end, usually just the facilitator, but here you see her get all the way to the rim and finish over Reagan McGarity.
Jordan Reynolds, the point guard for the Lady Vols, gets a few baskets. Alexa Middleton was the layup that brought us to a timeout, but now Virginia Tech just up by 4, trying to pull off a home upset of the number 17 Tennessee Lady Vols, but the Vols are very intent on making sure they don't lose 2 in a row. But it's been really the tale of the game, Mac, as far as both of these teams get on their own little runs, and then brings us to a point right now where all of a sudden it's close again.
Yeah, and they've both been frustrated a little bit offensively. Tennessee has turned the ball over on their end and not gotten a shot every single time, which is really a problem. And Virginia Tech, 2 for 18 from long range. And that's just not how they've played so far to get to their 5-0 record.
Tennessee, though, not shooting that well from beyond the arc as well. 27.3%, just 3 for 11.
But not as big a part of their game as it is Virginia Tech's. You know, one of the keys Kenny Brooks mentioned was we have to shoot the ball well. And that's kind of obvious, but it's a bigger deal to them because they can't create so much. Although 8 steals for Jeanette Hicks will create some offense too.
Just up by 4, Sammy Hill back out to Hicks. Panousis has one of the 2 3-pointers in this game for Virginia Tech. Hicks with the other. The layup is good.
It's just uncanny. Just uncanny. Off the ball screen. Had the mismatch quickness-wise. The much smaller player makes a nice play in traffic.
The Shields. Errant feed down low to Nard, stolen away by Sidney Cook.
19 turnovers. At the end of the game, that's going to haunt Holly Worley.
Lady Vols with 19, as Mac just said. Hokies only with 9. Virginia Tech scoring 20 points off of Tennessee turnovers. And if you're head coach Kenny Brooks of Virginia Tech, you got to love that. Hicks will inbound. Sammy Hill, only 1 layup good today. Sidney Cook for 3, once again misses. So
2 on 1.
Struggles continue for Tech as Reynolds draws a foul on Jeanette Hicks. So now the Hokies are 2 for 19. Jordan Reynolds is going to shoot 2. Already 11 total points for the senior guard from Portland, Oregon.
Another place that Tennessee is going to be frustrated by the stat sheet is just the fact that they haven't gotten to the free throw line. You would think with their size advantage that they would be able to throw it inside and get fouled, but that hasn't been happening. DeShields and Russell were the only ones who had attempted a free throw until right there when Jordan Reynolds gets a couple.
Second shot. A whistle.
Lane violation.
Reynolds going to have another shot at it.
And that one was a lane violation against Nard.
So
You don't see back-to-back lane violations very often, but
adding insult to injury because that shot went in. 6-point lead for Virginia Tech.
Tennessee staying with the zone.
Panousis, open three, no good. Sammy Hill trying to mix it up once again, but Tennessee comes down with it. Here's Reynolds. Down low, Mercedes Russell trying to use the glass to her advantage.
Good job of being physical down low for the Lady Hokies.
So Shanette Hicks with 20 points, 8 steals, as well as 3 assists and 5 rebounds. Over to Sammy Hill. McGarity draws a foul.
Yeah, I don't know who that pass was to right there, but Sammy Hill ran it down.
That was a great job because it wasn't a great pass from Sidney Cook down low.
But that was a good pass from Sam Hill into McGarity.
Garrity shooting 2.
Like
Gets the first one.
One of those football passes where you throw it to a spot and hope the receiver runs there.
Right. Kind of a fade.
But a big play right there. McGarity to the free throw line, which she's very talented.
Gets them both. 7-point lead for Virginia Tech. DeShields. What a pass. Missing the layup. Especially frustrating for Tennessee. Finding Sidney Cook. Panousis. Swatted away. It's a great job on defense.
Yeah, Russell not finishing. You mentioned the fact that they were missing a lot of close shots, even in the first half.
It was a great job by Diamond DeShields to just cut through that Hokies offense, though, or Hokies defense, I should say. And it's really a layup that needed to be made. Hill for 3, no good. Hicks with the pass, and Hill still trying to find her first 3-pointer made. She's now 0 for 8. DeShields in transition. That's what Tennessee's going to need if they're going to try to come back. A lot of game left to be played. Has not led since 4:16 in the third quarter. Out of bounds. Going right back to the Lady Vols. Diamond DeShields with 13 points. Does have 9 turnovers, though. Something that has really hampered Tennessee throughout this game. They have 20 total. Still find themselves only down by 6. Middleton. Mercedes Russell powering through.
Good execution. Ball screen roll, reverse it back, throw it in. That was perfect execution.
Down to a 4-point lead for Virginia Tech. Hicks straight to the hoop, misses. Reynolds pulls up. Rebound Jackson. No good. Those short shots haven't fell for Tennessee. And a timeout called by Kenny Brooks. 61-57. Hokies calling a timeout. And they're up by 4. Mac, so far, we've seen Tennessee miss those short little shots, and it's really coming back to bite them late in this game.
Yeah, we're talking about a 4-point game, and you can count, probably double figures of shots they've missed within 4 feet of the basket. Some of it has been good contesting by Virginia Tech, being physical, diving, slapping at the ball, but some of it has just been inability to put the ball in the basket. That time Reynolds had a couple choices. She could have kicked it out to to Alexa Middleton for a wide open three. She chose to shoot the shot. Jackson gets the rebound, and she can't finish it either. So I know both teams are a little bit frustrated right now. The Hokies have missed a couple opportunities to extend the lead, and Tennessee has missed a couple opportunities to cut it to even closer. So we've got a 4-point game with 2:21 to go, and this is what we hoped for.
Virginia Tech outscoring Tennessee by 14 in the paint. Hokies have 44 in the lane, while Tennessee only has 30. So both teams not shooting very well, right around the same percentage. 24 for 65 are the Lady Vols. That's 36.9. Well, the Hokies 35.7. But still, those turnovers have really told the tale of this game. Virginia Tech has scored 20 points off of turnovers, while Tennessee only able to score 12, but Virginia Tech with only 9 turnovers in this game.
Let's see what Kenny Brooks drew up on the offensive end.
Another tie-up. Tennessee has it.
We didn't get to see it. Ball knocked away, and a big stop for Tennessee.
Just a 4-point lead for Virginia Tech as we take another look at this play. Hicks trying to find Sidney Cook, and she couldn't handle it. Two minutes left. DeShields loses the ball, and another turnover.
She had the explosive first step, but bounced it off the foot.
That's 10 turnovers for Diamond DeShields.
Yeah, that's a tough night. She had a bad night the other night. A little ankle sprain, some foul trouble at Penn State. Didn't play well. And you mentioned she's made some big shots tonight, but 10 turnovers, that's hard to explain away.
Jeanette Hicks picks up the loose ball. Panousis draws a foul. Couple of shots coming up for Vanessa Panousis to try to extend this 4-point lead.
Yeah, the way both teams have shot the ball, they're both shooting about 37% for the game. Don't put them on the free throw line. Don't give them free opportunities, although the Hokies are only 7 for 14 from the line.
Vanessa Panousis' first shot goes in. You know, a 5-point lead for Virginia Tech. It's been kind of a strange year for Vanessa Panousis because in years past she's really been that big option outside the perimeter for Virginia Tech. Just averaging right around 6.2 points per game in the first couple of games this season.
And that's her first free throw miss of the season. I think she's 9 for 10 now.
Scored 21 in the win against Tennessee last year. Now with just 6 points. Hokies still up by 5 though. Jordan Reynolds. Layup off the side of the backboard, and she gets it back. Nard throws it up. Still able to draw a foul, though. It's going to be on Vanessa Panousis. Two shots coming up for Jamie Nard. Driving towards the basket, and just getting tied up with Vanessa Panousis.
Got 2 big free throws right here.
Her first free throws of the game. Crunch time coming up for the Lady Vols. Sinks it. Only a 4-point lead, trying to cut it down with a 1-possession ball game.
4 Lady Vols now in double figures. Nard, Russell, DeShields, and Reynolds all in double figures.
Second free throw. Bounces in. Big possession coming up for Virginia Tech.
Middleton in for Reynolds. Reynolds did something with her hamstring or thigh area.
See what Jeanette Hicks can do, splitting the defense. Now slowing it down.
3-point lead.
A little over a minute.
20 on the shot clock.
1 minute remaining.
Under a minute. McGarity fakes at the top of the key. Towards the hoop. Swatted away. Mercedes Russell. What a block. We can expect that out of the redshirt junior.
It's a good drive, but Russell waiting on her at the other end. There you see it. Whop.
And now it looks like they're going to take another look at it and see if this ball went off of Reagan McGarity off of the block.
Yeah, and that's one of the things they can do inside the last couple minutes of the game. They can see on bang, bang out of bounds plays. We'll get an explanation from Bruce Morris.
So under 2 minutes, you can go for an out of bounds play on the replay.
Yeah, he confirms what we were saying. I don't know. They called it Virginia Tech ball. I'm not sure there's enough there to turn that over. But we've seen stranger things, right?
Very close. And what a play that would be if they come back and overturn this. Right now it's staying with Virginia Tech, 8 on the shot clock. They make a shot trying to make it a 2-possession game, but if the referees think that it went off of Reagan McGarity, Tennessee has a chance to try to tie this one up.
Yeah, and if you're the coaches, Kenny Brooks got to have what can we do with 8 seconds left on the shot clock? We've got to do something quick if they give the ball to us. If they don't give the ball to us, what's our best defense on the other end? Their best defense has basically been man-to-man, although they bought a lot of time in zone, but I think he would be a man-to-man if they go to the other end up 3. Tennessee's doing the same thing. What can we do to get the ball down the floor? And if Virginia Tech's got the basketball, what do we need to be in right here? Do we need to switch everything, which they normally do?
So you take another look. Oh, that one.
It may have gone off Megan's fingers, right?
Well, right off of Reagan McGarity's fingers, off of that swat right there from Mercedes Russell. That was very, very close. And that angle kind of favors Tennessee.
Yeah, I didn't see it from the first angle either, but that angle looked like it did go off McGarity's fingers. Tough choices for the officials. They're still discussing it too.
Eric Bruton, Bruce Morris.
Part of athletics now, right?
Yeah.
The replay review.
Right.
And what you're going to do in between. And it looks like it's going to be Tennessee's basketball.
Overturned on the floor. Tennessee will have it.
And they got it right, too. We saw a third angle, and it definitely went off of Reagan's fingertips. McGarity on Russell down low. That'll be a big matchup to watch. Nard against Cook will be another big one to watch.
Maybe one of the bigger defensive stops needed for Virginia Tech. Feed down low. Russell, yes.
Beautiful pass by DeShields. Ball screen and roll, beautifully executed again. That's been big for them in this second half.
1 point game. Hicks towards the hoop. And one.
Who else was going to do that?
Right to the hoop, the point guard.
Smallest player on the floor has at times dominated this game.
And Hicks makes it a 3-point lead. Could make it a 2-possession game with a made free throw. So far, she's 5 for 8 in this game.
This is amazing.
Points.
You know she's going to drive it, and you still can't stop her. It's just amazing.
Misses. Timeout called by Mercedes Russell in Tennessee. They're going to have a chance. It's 29.9 left to go in the game.
Both teams with 1 timeout left. And if you're Tennessee, you've got to decide, and they're going to go to a full timeout.
Full timeout right now for Tennessee. What do you think that Holly Warlick is telling her ball club right now, Mac?
Well, she's got a couple choices. Does she try to get a quick score, regardless of what it is, 2 or 3, go for it, and then try to get a stop if they make a 2-point basket? Or does she go ahead and shoot the 3-point ball right here, trying to tie it up and go to the offensive glass and try to get it that way? I'm thinking she'll go for the quickest shot possible, but she's got some good 3-point shooters out there too. They haven't been very successful today. They're only 3 for 11 from deep, but they do have some talented people who can step out and make a shot. I think they're going to go for the quickest shot possible and then foul if they have to get it back again. But that's just a guess.
They are just 3 for 11. Those 3-point shooters spread out between Jordan Reynolds, Mimi Jackson, and Jamie Nard.
Yeah, and Jordan Reynolds is on the bench. She's injured right now. She won't be back in the game. Middleton is probably the very best choice, but Nard can step out and shoot it too. Mimi Jackson can step out. She's made 1 for 2 today already, or 1 for 1 today already. And Nard may have the best matchup. She may be against a bigger player, maybe Cook, although we've seen Sidney Cook. She plays more like a combination forward anyway. Matter of fact, they're very similar players.
So this crowd has now opened up, trying to cheer their Hokies on to a big upset here in Castle Coliseum. Been a fun one now as both teams still continuing this timeout. Haley Engel, Mac McCarthy, it's been a pleasure to have you with us here on this Sunday afternoon in the New River Valley. Now for Virginia Tech, there's a ton of pressure on defense right now. You got to think that Kenny Brooks is really harping on his squad.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see. They don't switch as much as Tennessee does. Tennessee sometimes switches 1 through 5. Everybody will switch screens. The Hokies in this particular situation where they're trying to get a 3 off might do the same thing. They might go ahead and switch also.
There have been a good amount of lead changes in this game.
I don't see Tennessee substituting. I thought maybe Courtney Dunbar might be coming in the game, but it doesn't look like she is. Looks like they're gonna stay with DeShields, Russell, Nard, Middleton, and Jackson.
Well, the referee's still looking at the replay. Both teams still on their respective benches. Kenny Brooks telling his players to come back. I think they're trying to get the time correct.
Yeah, Kenny Brooks is one to play. Let's go, guys.
Hokies just trying to prove that they can run with the best. That is what Tennessee has been for decades now, the very best.
And of course, they can advance the ball. That's one of the rules on the women's side. Like the NBA, they can call timeout on the other end and advance the ball in the last minutes.
Put a few more tenths back on the shot clock. 30.4 left to go in the game. So 0.4 of a second separates the game clock and the shot clock. 3-point lead for Virginia Tech. Here's DeShields. Back out to Middleton. Nard. Towards the hoop. Misses. Rebound Hokies. And a foul is called on Tennessee. What a stop for Virginia Tech.
Big stop. They took the primary options away. They tried ball screen and roll. They tried fill from behind. They tried a whole bunch of different things right there, and none of them worked. Now they'll be forced to foul right here.
Quick foul on Shanette Hicks. 12.2 seconds left on the shot clock.
That's only the 4th foul.
Fifth foul on Mimi Jackson, though, so her day is done. She finishes with 5 total points. It was 2 rebounds and 1 assist.
Oh, that was the 5th foul on Tennessee. I'm sorry. No, it was the 4th.
Had it right the first time.
Looking at the scoreboard, thought I had it right, but
I don't think they have it right either. It's just been trying to figure out what's on the floor right now. Is it 5 or is it 4?
It is 5.
And it is 5.
There we go.
So it'll be 2 shots coming up for Shanette Hicks.
And 2's a lot better than 1 and 1.
Right.
Of course, that's another change a year ago for the women's college game.
Along with the quarters, no more 1-and-1 shots. So Shanette Hicks can make 1 and make it a 2-possession game. And she does.
And again, we talked about how important it is that your point guards at the end of the game, they're going to have the ball in their hands. They've got to be a really reliable free throw shooter. And Shanette Hicks has made herself that.
So Shanette Hicks now with 23 points, 6 of 10 from the free throw line. Timeout called by Kenny Brooks. Hokies have no more left. 65-61.
Yeah, you don't want to save them. Make sure, they're still adjusting to Kenny Brooks, this team is. That terminology, what he wants in certain situations. He doesn't want to leave any doubt with this team. It's like coaching a really young team because they are basically a young team to him.
Hicks.
Sammy Hill set to pick up full court, and probably Shanette Hicks will too, to keep him from just rushing it down the floor.
She makes them both. Timeout called by Holly Warlick. 5-point lead for Virginia Tech. 12.2 seconds left to go in this game.
And Tennessee will push it hard right here. They've got to get a shot up quickly, whether it's throw it ahead for a 3 or drive it all the way to the hole, get the clock stopped, and foul again. They've got to have 2 possessions, so they've got to have one really quick shot right here.
So
Most likely they're going to drive it all the way to the rim and try to get the 2 right now.
So if you're Virginia Tech, do you just let them do that, or you just play
no.
defense?
You want to delay them as much as possible. The defense right now is to delay. You want to stay between them and the basket. If they shoot a contested 3, that's fine. But you want to be between them and the basket. And, of course, Tennessee advances it to midcourt again.
Inbounds pass coming up from Diamond to Shields.
If you're Virginia Tech, stay between your man and the basket. Contest a 3.
No hurry. Dunbar for 3. Misses. Put back. In. Inbounds pass to Sammy Hill. Immediately fouled by Courtney Dunbar. That's her first personal. And Sammy Hill will go to the line. 1 for 2 so far today from the stripe. 3-point game.
Both teams out of timeouts now.
Tennessee really needs Sammy Hill to miss both. That will likely seal it.
Sammy hadn't had a big offensive game, but she has still contributed in a big way with her hustle.
Misses the second. Virginia Tech pulls off the upset, and Castle wins this one 67-63. What a game in Blacksburg. Jeanette Hicks finishing with 24 points as the Hokies are undefeated, 6-0. Tennessee dropping their second straight game and fall to 3-2 on the season. Here's Kenny Brooks embracing his daughter. What a start for this Virginia Tech team. And we got Mac McCarthy standing by right now with head coach Kenny Brooks.
Coach, as you thank the fans that turned out here on a Thanksgiving Sunday, what are your first reflections on a win over a top 25 team?
I'm so happy for the kids, Matt. You know, the way they've been receptive to everything that we've talked about, and the way they bought into everything that we've asked them to in such a short time. This is just, gives us good vibe. They understand if they work hard, do it the right way, good things can happen. I'm very happy these kids.
You play with a lot of confidence. Clearly, they're buying into what you want to do, but this has come awfully quickly. Talk a little bit about Jeanette Hicks and her effect on this game.
There was a lot of McDonald's All-Americans on this floor, and she would have been my #1 draft pick. Just the way I thought she started off a little bit shaky. What I'm most proud of is that she's being very receptive to my coaching and what I'm asking her to do. I was able to reel her in, and as a result, and I told you earlier, as she goes, we go. And she really helped us propel in the second half. I can't be prouder of her, happier for her, and for the whole team and what they accomplished, because we told them that they're a good basketball team. If Virginia Tech plays and understands that they're a better basketball team than anyone they play, we can have great wins like this. I'm very happy for the kids.
Congrats on the big win. Congrats on the great start. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Mac. Very exciting game here in Blacksburg. Hokies pull off an upset, 67-63. For all of our crew here with the ACC Network Extra, and for Mac McCarthy, my name is Bailey Angle, reminding you the final score from Blacksburg. Hokies pull off the upset, 67-63.